So before we do anything else, I'm going to head over to the options and make sure that I do this properly. Because if I don't, then there is a good possibility that the game might crash on me again. Which is also why, in terms of my system's internal storage, or at least in terms of game storage that is, I had to remove a few things, just to make sure that this would work. And I would not be surprised if my system decides to crash on me again, because there's a good possibility that says it will. But, anyway, got the options out the way. I think I'll put the dialogue up to maximum. I'm also putting the subtitles on, because why not? And now, let's get on with some racing. As we've got race, battle race, stunt showcase, takedown, best lap challenge, and master lap events. And before we do anything else, we always have to start somewhere, and that's why for this we are starting off with the Fireball Beach Sprint. Also, just before we do anything else, I thought if I actually got these achievements on a separate profile, I might actually get them separate from my personal profile, but apparently the achievements as they are, they're kind of synced into the system. And well, because I have not managed to establish an internet connection on my PlayStation 3 just yet with my PlayStation Network account, that's probably why all of this is, well, melded together, I guess you could say. Anyway, we're starting off with the Fireball Beach Sprint. And this is also the first time since October that I've actually done a playthrough on my PlayStation 3. So either I am going to be rusty, or the system is going to be rusty. But one thing that I know for certain is, this first race is going to be far from easy. So I think, just to avoid the fucking around I did last time, I'm gonna notch this down to the easy difficulty, just so the game doesn't crash on me again. And this is very much a self-conscious choice, because I would not be doing this if there wasn't something else at work here. And that's why I'm doing that. So we already played as Lightning in the introduction race, and this time we are going to play as the other main character of the game, and that is Cruz Ramirez. And I turn this down to the easy difficulty because I really do not want the system to crash on me again. And I also put on some customization as well, because, well, I think that's a pretty cool part of the game as well. Even though this is on the easy difficulty, I would imagine this is going to be far from easy, from what I can see. This is actually going to be a serious challenge, especially with the difficulty spikes. But hopefully that's not the case with the easy difficulty. Because it's a lot easier to just get through the first race rather than just having to basically fuck about with the AI and basically not get anything done, which is what I was doing before. That's partly the reason why the gap is more spread out than it was before. Because I'm pretty sure the hard difficulty, well, in my opinion, Considering what I went through at the end of my coursework tenure, it's just not worth it for me to go through the pain and agony of just trying to get through something that you know you're not going to have fun doing. And in all honesty, it's also because, well, it's just too exhausting. And I have already been siphoned enough at this point to know when exhaustion really does take a toll on you. And under the circumstances, I have been there. I have definitely been there under the retracting accounts of saying that struggling for hours on end and basically getting nowhere, it's simply no fun. And at least I can say, with the skills I have learned already, I am managing to get some pretty decent skill sets on the board. Which probably is a good thing for me, because it means that we'll unlock some characters relatively early on. And I have also managed to build up a gap as well, which, on the easy difficulty, is expected. Anyways, I win. And all that took me was less than 3 minutes.
Welcome back to Chick's Picks. I'm Chick Hicks. What can you say about Cruz Ramirez? Turns out, a lot. She really turned on the speed today, leaving everyone else in her dust. She cruised to an unforgettable win. Miss Fritter, tell us, what did you see out there?
Frankly, Chick, I lost interest after the first few laps. Nobody was even scratching paint. What good is winning a race if nobody falls apart at the end? That's no victory.
Thanks for watching, folks. You're the best. And you know what? So am I. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, if you're asking why I turned it down to the easy difficulty, well, that's because I actually... God, what is going on with my voice at the moment? Okay. If you're asking why I turned it down to the easy difficulty, well, that's because I already struggled enough to try and get this done, even on the medium difficulty. But either way, there's your classification. Me first, Tomata second, and Louise Nash in third, followed by RV, Lightning, Cam, Brick, Mac, Natalie, and River Scott rounding out the field, with a gap of 15 seconds from first to last. And we've now unlocked the Heartland Countryside Dash.
These new statistics should really make a difference.
And here's to hoping that storage clearance I made has, or storage removing, I should say, actually helps the game to work again. And this time, not as many skill sets as before, but still a decent chunk. As we gained a total of 10 skill sets. So, we already unlock our first character in Bobby Swift, and we also unlock Brick Yardley, the Vitoline sponsored racer, able to beat Lightning McQueen on a number of occasions. I think I'll be using these guys before too long, and now we've already unlocked the Cup Series. So we're now up to 11 skill sets in our Hall of Fame progress, and the others will be unlocked as we go further and further through the game. So, that was the Fireball Beach Sprint. And now, I'm going to go back and save the game The game obviously uses autosave, so that's not going to be a problem. And yeah, the Fireball Beach sprint is done. And with that, we are now up to 11 of 136 in our progress, which means this is going to go by relatively quickly the way I see things. But anyway, there we go. One race down, still many more to go. On to the next one.